the one thing that I didn't know that I was excited to find out is that you were the first Black woman to perform Elphaba. Did you know when you were doing it into, what was it, 2005?
Yeah, when I auditioned, it was 2004 when I was auditioning, but
Did
yeah,
you know you were
2005.
going to be the first Black woman to do that?
Honey, I definitely knew there were no other Black women who had done it at that time, performed it, understudied it.
Yeah.
I think maybe there was, I don't know, I think I was the first one to actually do the makeup test, the whole shebang,
Yeah.
the whole shebang.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was it's funny because I specifically remember at that time, the week that I had that audition, I was living in Atlanta and I needed to fly to New York, and I had like 3 or 4 auditions in 2 days. And I remember
Mhm.
telling my agents at the time, I was like, this Wicked material is really standing out to me, but it's like 5 songs. I need to learn these songs. And I told them I'd rather learn these songs really well and do a good job. So I'm going to cancel the other 2 and I'm going to just focus on these 2. There were like 4 auditions. And they were like, I don't know. You need to go in for everything you can while you're up there in New York that week. And I was overwhelmed and I was like, no, I think I want to just do a really good job on this one.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one of the first, that was when I was really starting to get my power, understanding things about doing my best job and not always, you know, trying to just do everything, throw everything but the kitchen sink in at once. And that's what I did. I can't remember what the other audition was, but I remember there were 4. I canceled 2 of them, focused on the 2, and ended up getting Wicked. But yeah, it ended up being a makeup test, and it was a whole thing.
Wow. I vaguely remember running into you uh, during that time, but I still had no idea you were breaking ground like that. I had no idea that was happening.
Yeah. I'll tell you something else. Let me play. I want to put on one of my filters. Let me see. Are y'all gonna be
Okay.
mad?
And you guys, I didn't tell you she did The Color Purple too. I mean, I didn't list a lot of credits, but yes, she was in The Color
So
Purple with Mom.
incidentally, so I was the original Nettie in The Color Purple as well when we did it in
I
Atlanta
remember.
before it went to Broadway.
Hmm.
Before I went to Broadway, I got Wicked. And also I had been let go. Let's keep it all the way real. I was let go from The Color Purple.
Ah,
Ended up getting Wicked. I remember at the time, also Adrienne Lennox. I was Nettie and she was Sugar
sure.
Avery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she went to go do Doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I went to do Wicked, and then I still ended up coming back later to do The Color Purple to cover Celia and Nettie.
Yeah.
Um, After I finished my Wicked run, so
Yeah.
I still ended up getting to do it again. I did it in Atlanta, and then I did it on Broadway as well. So
Yeah. And then Adrian ended up winning the Tony for Doubt.
for like 7 minutes on
I
stage.
know. I
Shout
know.
out, shout out, Adrienne Lennox.
Yeah. Oh, well, she already knows
Yes,
that we love you, Adrian.
love it.
Um, but I want to talk about that because there's been so much synchronicity in your life that way. I mean, the fact that you got quote unquote let go from The Color Purple, but then you came back to cover, 2 roles. And I've told it twice on this show, talk about you. And I don't know if you heard it. I was giving your testimony on my show.
Come on, give it. Come on.
But I often tell the story about you moving to
Charlotte,
North,
North
yes,
Carolina.
yes, leaving the city, honey, and then getting a series that's filmed right. Come on.
It is a testimony like no other. It really, really is. I had been in New York. I did New York. I definitely did a good solid time in New York for, I want to say about 14 years, maybe more.
Hmm.
Um, did all this amazing Broadway and some TV and film here and there, movies here and there,
Yeah.
here and there. But I wanted to get back down south. I just wanted to get back down south. And then when the pandemic happened, incidentally, I thought I couldn't move. I wanted to move, but then I was like, maybe I shouldn't because of the pandemic. You know how they were telling everybody to shelter in place?
Yeah.
So I was sheltering in place for like 3 months. And then I saw my lease was about to come up. And then I saw this, I was looking at, and I was like, let me Google, are moving companies still know, they sheltering in place. I was like, oh, these moving companies still working? And I ordered a moving company. And yeah, I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. I didn't have any family there, no friends there. I just wanted to try something new. I said, I'm going to try a new city while we're at this space. A lot of people took that time to try new things. Yeah. And it was either you either kind of stay in bed and fight to get out of bed every day, or you make yourself get up and try something new. So that's what I did. And yeah, probably about 3-4 months later, September, yeah. I was posting on Instagram. I was doing some Instagram influencer stuff. I was posting on Instagram. And Charles Randolph Wright, who directed Motown the musical, which I did in 2013, he never checks his IG. And he happened to check his IG. And I happened to tag. I never tagged my location at that time. He was like, are you in Charlotte? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what you doing in Charlotte? And I was like, just living, pandemicking, you know. Yeah. And he was like, I'm doing a TV show out here. And he was like, who's your agent? Who's your whatever? And I sent him all my stuff. They sent me those sides. I started working on that material that day. Auditioned. I know it was between me and like 3 other women. Yeah. And I ended up getting this really nice role on a whole series. A whole series, a whole season of a show. Like I was like, I knew it. And it was interesting too, because I remember my manager at the time, who I'm no longer with, was like, what are you doing? Why are you moving? And I was like, you see how good my work is when I'm in a city that I'm kind of ready to leave from. Imagine how good I'll be when I'm really inspired. Yeah. And it was such a testimony. I you know, being in your 40s and then making this big move, like this is the other thing I decided. I said, I'm gonna act like I'm 27. I'm gonna act like, no, what I say? No, I said, I'm gonna act like I'm 22 all for the next year. I'm just gonna act like I'm 22. I'm just gonna do stuff like I'm in my 20s. Yeah. I don't know if I can recommend it for everybody, but I literally just started just acting like that. I was just like trying new things, you know, because sometimes people are like, you too old to move to a new city. You too old to yeah. I just said, I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna, and man, it was one of the best things I ever did.
Wow, because then after that, you know, you ended up getting another series.
The Wonder Years.
Yes.
Yeah. So how about right after that, like during that time, and it was literally right after Delilah wrapped. We wrapped shooting, and that last week, I remember I was tired because we had been shooting and you know, the masks and the tests and all that stuff. And I actually I had like, again, it was one of those weeks. I had like 8 auditions coming. Mm-hmm. Now we pray for these type of weeks, right? Yes, because like even right now, this is like the driest pilot season I've seen in many years.
In forever. Yeah.
This post strike pilot season is like, whew. So I remember it was like 8 auditions came in. At the time, my agents they were introducing me to new managers. I got with a new manager, and she was encouraging me to kind of go through what I was interested in and focus on that. So I think then I narrowed those 8 down to like 6 or down to 4 or something. I remember one of them was The Little Mermaid. The house mom lady who's like, she's cleaning the girl up and all that. I forgot that character's name. Mm-hmm. So I remember that week I auditioned for that and Wonder Years. I had so much fun with the Disney audition. Yeah. It's interesting when sometimes you don't get stuff, but it was the best thing for me. Like it was so silly. I was just so silly. I had props. Yeah. I put flour on my face. I was like, I was making cookies and bring the girl and bring her inside. And I was just coming up with this character. Yeah. And it was so much fun. So by the time the Wonder Years audition came in, I was like, well, let me do that too. I was just my spirits were just up. Yeah. So yeah, I left New York. It's interesting. I did so much time in New York and different times, pilot seasons and things in Los Angeles. And then during this year that I'm in Charlotte, that I book my first full series regular role. Really, really a blessing.
Really a blessing. So you really sort of stepped out on faith when you left New York.
Boy, did I really, really did. I tell you, anybody who was in New York, you're in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
So you know, that time, it was a hard time that with the way that everything was going with everything, the world being shut down, and also people were protesting. It was just a lot, and it was such an intense time. Hey, ATL NYC, I see you. Thank you. It was such an intense time, and I just wanted to get out of there. I was just like, I need to go be somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, I need to just go be somewhere else. And I really, you know, I'll tell you something interesting. Recently, I was thinking about it again. I was like, because I have so many ideas and things that I want to do, and so I was like, oop, I may have to go into that turbocharge, intense focus, trying something new. I'll tell you what, even my family, I don't know if any of them are watching right now. I think only my brother was the only one that knew that I moved to Charlotte with no job. Like I just moved. I think my family, I think they thought I had a job when I moved, but I didn't. I just moved.
Yeah.
And then I got a job about 3-4 months later.
Yeah. Now, have you returned to New York?
To New
Because you
York,
filmed.
I did a movie in September. Right now I'm going up on the name of the movie right now. But I did an independent film in September. I believe at that time it was the only movie that had clearance to shoot during the
strike.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Why am I forgetting his handsome face? Producer and star of the movie. Nicole Bahari was in it. Anyway, I went and I did that in New York, but I've been to New York many times. I'm probably in New York every other month. I'm in New York all the time. I was just there for the Bob Marley, the New York premiere of the Bob Marley movie, which was, I enjoyed it so much. I did the Bob Marley musical when they did it in the US. They, Island Records, and Baltimore Center Stage produced a Bob Marley musical, in 2015, and I played.
Remember that?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
and
played
Crystal
Rita
Joy did
Marley.
that.
Say it again.
Crystal Joy.
Yes,
I think she was.
her singing
I know.
stuff. By the way, people who
That's
don't know,
Adrian's daughter.
she's the daughter of
Yeah.
Adrian, the other person that we were raving about.
Yes.
When I tell you them some singing, Lord have mercy, singing somebody's. Yes,
I
Crystal
know.
Joy. Crystal Joy. It was Saycon, similar Crystal Joy and Susan Kelechi Watson. We played the I3, and when I tell you, we woo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We were,
Yes.
oh my God, we were behind Bob with the 3-part harmony. Y'all didn't have no 3-part harmony. Like, what? Okay. Susan Kelechi, y'all, people don't realize she can sing. You know, she was on This Is Us. Brilliant actress, but she can sing as well. So yeah, that was a good time.
Wow.
But yeah, so I was in New York, just doing that. I've been in New York a bunch of times. I've been just handling business, screenings, events, spending time, birthday party. You know, I've definitely been to New York. And then, of course, during this time that we were doing the Wonder Years, we had to come for promo things from time to time. So, you know, the blessing that I must add in that happened with as the Wonder Years happened was that like playing one of the leads on a show in my own hometown was
what I was getting
amazing.
ready to ask you about. That was my next question. That you were filming Wonder Years in your hometown.
Yeah, in Atlanta. Before that, I did do the Respect movie, and I had a really nice, juicy supporting role in Respect. And we shot that here in Atlanta. And I want to say from my time as a teen in my early 20s, when I was here in Atlanta auditioning, you know, doing theater, being a part of the Freddie Hendricks Youth Ensemble of Atlanta, Tri-Cities High School. Like during that time, I think I knew that I would eventually go on to do more things, but it was amazing and a gift to actually come back home, come back down south to shoot a project that was so beautiful and so you know, just full of Black boy joy, you know, with the Dean character. Just like really, really, truly a blessing. And to be able to see my mom a lot more often, my aunts, my family, my brother, you know, like that's been like a blessing because you know, I don't know how many of you in the comments have chances to live in a city where the majority of your family is not living. It can be hard, you know. I have my sisters that live Jersey, Pennsylvania area. Um, so nobody, when I was living in New York, it's like nobody that's like 20 minutes away. Like everybody, I got to either drive an hour, 2 hours to get to them, or fly 2 hours to get to them. Like,
Yeah.
so like, you know, wouldn't you say being up north, being in the New York, New Jersey area with all the artists, you end up kind of making family with the artists that you're
Yes.
around,
Shows the
you know?
family. Yeah. I agree.
So that's, yeah. So I'm thankful for that. I'm
Hmm.
thankful for the families that were created from the different friends, artists, singers, actors, dancers, surrounded by amazing, beautiful dancers. I see my cousin. She said, "Welcome home." DT
I
hair
can't
care,
even
yes.
imagine how that must feel. I mean, I just think I'm a Southern girl, and I yearn for going back down south. So I'm so happy for you. I can't even imagine how it must feel. I don't appreciate you taking my ear though.
My ear's down here now. Yes, my ear. Oh, shout out to my ear
Yes,
Wilson. We both know my ear from The Color Purple. My very first national tour, got my equity card, was on the national tour of Rent.
Rent.
And my
Yes.
ear was the Seasons of Love soloist. And I played Mimi on that tour.
Hmm.
And some of my closest, longest friendships, that I'm still in contact with to this day, are from that tour. Stu James,
Through James.
Justin Johnston, and Stu did Color Purple as well,
Yeah,
right?
the tour.
Sean Earl, Maia. Oh my God,
Hmm.
just so many. Marcus Mitchell, so many good friends that I stay in contact from that tour. You know how that tour life.
That tour life. You better become family. You better.
That's all you gonna see. Them the only
That's
people you gonna see.
that's all you're gonna see. So what was the Wonder Years like? I mean, it was such a, I mean, we do work all the time and we try to always do things that we can be proud of. It doesn't, some things are a job, and and but when you get to do something that speaks to the culture the way that show did, what was it like?
First of all, I love these yellow hearts I see come from
Me
from
too.
Sonia Domini. I love the yellow
Mm.
hearts. Gosh, what a beautiful experience. One thing I can say is, my for those of you who don't know, when you're auditioning for a television series, one of the things you have to do in addition to the regular audition process is you have to have a test, a network test. Um, so with our network test, again, because of the times, my tests were on Zoom. And so I went through so much to prepare myself. I did my hair like a wig with the perfect 60s look, the
Yeah.
dress, the lighting. I ate the right breakfast that day. I warmed up. I just did everything I needed to do so I could be just amazing.
Yeah.
And um, I did everything, did my audition. And then the next day, it was like maybe like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like chilling on the couch, like eating a cookie or something. I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't like, I was just like, bumming around.
Hmm.
And I get a call from my reps. They're like, can you test again? They want you to test again at 3 o'clock. I was like, wait, test at 3 o'clock? Oh Lord. I was like, I ain't ate nothing. I ain't like, if I don't have to, child, I mess around. You turn around and the day has gone by and I didn't eat, or I didn't,
Yes.
it was one of those days. If it's not a day, because you know how it is with TV and film, you have to be at work like 6 in the morning, like
Yes.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So if I'm not shooting or something, I'm trying to get my rest.
Yeah.
And so when I tell you I whipped it together, I was like, where that wig at? Where that dress? And I just, oh Lord, I whipped it back together so that I could give it to him one more time. I was like, I'm just gonna be hungry. We just gonna, you know what I mean? And
Yeah. Yeah.
so I feel like I feel like I really earned that part. And one thing that uh, the, the so Dean is played by a really great kid. His name is EJ Williams, and EJ's dad, who goes by the name of Lefty. Lefty is part of the Harlem Globetrotters. EJ comes from this amazing family. EJ's dad said to me when he found out that I was cast in the show, when he saw me, he saw like my headshot, you know, online. Yeah. He said he knew that EJ had the part because he was like, "You look just like my sister." So like, you know, there's always so many. You never know whether you're gonna get something or not. You know, there's so many. You know, it's up to God, it's up to the casting director, it's up to the executive producers, which we have an amazing team of producers on the show. Yeah. It's up to so many people and things to like make it happen. And so when I got the part, you'll remember I actually reached out to you. I reached out to Angela. I was like, I need diva training. What do I do? I was like, girl, you've been doing this full-time TV show, Atlanta, like, you know what I mean? And like, just so I could kind of get my bearings because I had to move back to Georgia. And then you know, it's just a full-time thing. It's a lot of work. It's a lot more work. Like just seeing the scenes that you see, a scene that takes 3 minutes on when you're looking at it, it might take an hour to shoot, maybe 2 hours to shoot, you know, depending on what's going on in the scene. Yeah. And so there's just so much work and energy. And I was like, whoa, I was really tired all the time. And so I had to really organize my life so that I could take each step day by day full out, you know. Shout out to my cousin. She was watching as well. She helped me a lot when I had to move. I was like, I'm gonna be on set. Can you meet my moving truck? She went and met my moving truck. Like, you know, you just gotta make it work and just be thankful for the people around you that can support you, you know. I'm really thankful for that. And also, you know, the most interesting thing about the Wonder Years is I got to sing on the show. I got to just go through so many different experiences and the amazing cast, you know, working with Dule Hill. I enjoy watching him. I literally will always pick on him. I'd be like, Dule, you famous, child. You famous. I always would say that because, you know, he's been doing television for so long, and when you go somewhere, people are like, oh, you know, they recognize him. He's been on some of their favorite shows. He's been doing it since he was a kid. And so I just would kind of take a note out of his book. You know, so when he laying back, I said, oh, Dule laying back. He got some energy. Like just kind of peep the energy of the people around you and you know, get what you can from that. But also create your own path, you know, because sometimes like I was really fortunate that the energy that I'm picking up is good, positive energy. The people that I'm working with, they're awesome people, positive people. But you know, sometimes you can be on shows where the people are not that way, where, you know, nobody speaks, everybody's mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was really fortunate that I was with a great group of people. And I gotta just say one thing real quick. So I was watching Mia Culpa last night. Oh Lord. If y'all don't know, honey, y'all better tune into Mia Culpa so y'all can see Miss Angela. I said, yes, I was so excited to see you on the show. I said, I'm gonna tell her when I get on. I'm gonna be live with her tomorrow. I'm gonna tell her when I get live. Y'all better watch. I had no spoilers, but honey, she is in the movie. Okay, y'all better watch. Have you been telling? Do people know? I mean, or is it like a cameo? Okay. So, honey, Angela is all up in that movie. Y'all better watch that movie.
Y'all check it out. Seycon done told you now.
Little cameo. That's a little cameo. I said, woo! No, you were so good, so delicious. Thank you. You're such a delicious actress. Just so.
You know how I feel about you, sis. So, you know, we could go. Come on.
Thank you.
I pray we get to do something together. I don't think we ever did The Color Purple together.
Trying to think when I came in, was Elizabeth there when I went? I think
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth was there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But I don't
when
think
I
I
went,
went
yeah,
on with you. Elizabeth was there, but I don't think it ever aligned that
that
you and
you
I.
and I went on. But I'll
Mm-mm.
tell you something interesting though. My brain is not saying that that didn't happen though. My brain is like,
Mine either.
I feel like
I
we
feel
hung
like we rehearsed together, and I know
or
I probably
something
did
like
that put in.
that. Maybe that's
Yes,
what happened. Something like
yes,
that. Y'all, the
yes.
way Broadway is set up, honey, whew, yeah, you got rehearsals, you got, I remember during the time that I was doing Wicked, because I was the Elphaba standby, the Wicked Witch of the West. I was the standby for the role. So it meant I was doing public appearances. I would do like one show a week
Mm-hmm.
because there's 8 shows a week, and so
Yeah.
similar. I did a lot of standby work when I first started my Broadway career.
Me too.
I mean, when I did the national tour of Rent, I played Mimi full time, but then when I went to do the Aida tour, I was Aida standby. And then on Broadway, I was Aida standby, and then
Mm-hmm.
um, Wicked standby. I really got to hone my craft and then also learn how to manage people and the ups and downs of
Mm-hmm.
suddenly like really having to nobody cares, you're the lead, all of a sudden everybody wants to know every single thing you're doing all day long. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, nobody cares. Like, it's not like there's no in between. There's no in
Yeah.
between. So it's really
Yeah.
fascinating to manage that space.
Mm-hmm.
um
That is so true.
yeah,
You can fly under the radar, and then all of a sudden,
all of a sudden everybody's all up in your
all
business.
up
Okay.
in your business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because I'm still learning how to, when I need to not be under the radar, because I tend to like stay under the radar a lot.
Me too.
um I was at, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was at a party, so they're doing Fela, another show that I originated on Broadway. They
Mm-hmm.
have a production of Fela that's happening right now here in Atlanta. Y'all go support it at the Southwest Performing Arts Center through March 3rd. I want them to pack the house out. Beautiful
Mm-hmm.
show, starring Dwayne Richmond. um, and I we were all kind of hanging out, and we ended up at Blaze, which is Candy Burris's restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
her steak restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, I went to high school with Candy, but every time I see Candy and all the one fancy Atlanta people around, I'm like, ooh, hey guys. Like, I kind of go into my, hey guys. And then people be like, what you know? They be asking me about me. I'm like, oh yeah, people want to know about me.
Yes.
It's interesting though, because when you're just in, I don't know, I'm just in my own body.
I know.
Like, I don't know. When I like now I'm realizing when I go to the grocery store, when I don't even know how you do it. But I go to the grocery store, I go to Walmart, I gotta always put a base of powder or something because people
Mm-hmm.
want to take pictures,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that's the difference with the TV thing, is people like want a picture with you, they want to talk with you. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you want to know about me? What
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. And Atlanta, I mean, to me, the best fans in the world are in Atlanta.
Yes, honey. Woo,
That-
child.
oh my goodness. They are invested in their shows and very open about telling you the best fans ever. Hi Atlanta, I love you. I miss you. I'm trying to get back to
I was
you.
just about to ask you, when's the last time somebody said, we say, is that Veronica? Exactly.
You say it all the
Oh
time. I mean,
my gosh.
all the time in the airport, Veronica.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, I'm home. I'm in
So you get
Atlanta.
it
Um,
more, particularly in Atlanta, you get it more? Or down south in
down
general,
south
or
in
the Midwest?
general. Down
Okay.
south in general. I get it up here too, but it's different. It's not the same. It's not that love. It's you know, yeah, it's not the same. It's not the
When
same.
when was the
Renee
last time you
Goldsberry.
came?
It's been ooh, Atlanta, 7 months.
Okay.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
usually come in and out for things. Now, you know what? I think it's been a year because we shot Mia Culpa a year ago.
Oh, and that was in Atlanta because my brother, shout out to Alan, my brother, he is on he's a driver. He's in the
Hmm.
union for the drivers. And
Hmm.
so We were just looking at the credits. His name is in the credits because he's one of the drivers, one of the drivers on the movie. I wonder if you may have met him. But
Maybe.
yeah, y'all
Yeah.
did shoot in
Yeah,
Atlanta.
we shot in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, I want to go back. You talked about audition.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about when you auditioned for Wonder Years and them calling you back to do it again. But what is your process usually after a big audition like that? Is it usually, hit it and forget it, take yourself out somewhere and try to forget it, or are you meditating about it, or visualizing it? What's your process?
That's interesting. That's a good question. My friend Christine. Do you know Christine Horn?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, you two would love each other. Christine is an amazing actress. She's an acting coach as well.
Oh.
Christine and I, we always make a joke like, we'd be like, girl, what you doing? She'd be like, taking her trips at the store. So like sometimes you just kind of just
Take
walking
a
around the store, walking around the
mm-hmm,
mall, walking around the grocery store. You just kind of like walk it off,
mm-hmm,
you know?
mm-hmm.
So sometimes after, if I had like, it's pilot season, right? So I had a couple days ago where I had like 3 auditions I filmed in one day.
Yeah.
And you're switching characters, you're switching outfits, you're trying to memorize lines, you got lights in your face. I have light sensitivity, so I got, ring lights and strobe, lights all in your
Mm-hmm.
face. And so then afterwards, sometimes I want to just go take a traipse, honey. Yes, taking a traipse.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I just want to take a traipse. I go walk my dog or just kind of something real easy, shopping, or get online, just be on Amazon, scrolling, just doing something kind of mindless,
Mm-hmm.
or listen to one of my favorite bloggers. I love YouTube bloggers, y'all. That's my guilty pleasure, YouTube bloggers.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are also those times where the other part that you said, where you're just like in that meditative mode,
Mm-hmm.
in that like, and let it be said and let it be done. And so it is, and it
Mm-hmm.
depends on the roles. Some roles, I'm like that leading up to it, and then I release. And then other roles, I'm working through it while I'm filming it, the audition,
Mm-hmm.
and then afterwards, I need to take a traipse. So it just
Yeah.
depends. But
Yeah.
it's funny. I was gonna ask you, as a mom,
Mm-hmm.
how, if you're coming down from the, ooh, I'm focused on this role, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's mommy, how do you
Mm-hmm.
switch quickly? You have to like come out of your, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm. So quickly. I do most self-tapes at 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, when
And
he's asleep.
mm-hmm. And then morning, 6:30, time to get up happens so fast. I
Mm-hmm.
usually stay up to prep the video, get it sent out. And there have been times that I've actually forgotten I did it.
Mm.
Like, oh, we did that last night, because it's
Mm.
usually my husband, it's usually us. And he'll wake up and say, good job last night, babe. And I'll
And you're
go,
like, what did
what?
I
What
do
happened
last
last
night?
night? And he'll say, no, really. And he says that about, I don't believe him ever, because he says it every time. Every
Mm.
time he's like, really good work last night. He always,
Mm.
tries to encourage me. But I have to say, it leaves me because life continues. You got to get ready for school, got to go to school. But because getting it has a lot to do with him, my son. The
Mm.
resources available for him, or maybe having to leave town, or
Mm.
for whatever it is, it does involve him. Then I do think about it again, and I am like, would I want to go
Want
to
to be and
Vancouver?
live in
Yeah,
Vancouver for 3 months?
yeah,
Yes, honey. That's the thing. And look, I tell people, like, that's the one part where I be like, I can't act like I'm 20 here. Because when I was 20, I'd be like, yeah, I'll go live there for 3 months. Yeah,
yeah,
I want to go be in Australia for 6 months.
yeah.
But now I'd be like, I got a man. Do I want to be away from my man for 6 months? You know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh. Back up, back up. Wait a minute now. I don't know about the man. We got. Wait a minute. You better catch me up, honey. I don't know about the man. You,
wait.
you better catch me up on what's going on here. Okay, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. First of all,
No. Look, let me say this. I always say I am single until I am married. But yes, I am dating someone. Yes. Yes.
And okay. And he lives in Atlanta,
He
or
lives in Georgia.
he
I
lives
wouldn't
in
say he lives in Atlanta, but he
okay,
does
he
live in
lives
the
in
state.
Georgia.
Somebody
Girl,
said,
you
not she telling on
God,
herself.
see, God took you back down south for many reasons, honey. I mean, so many reasons. Be
Yep.
near your mama,
Mm-hmm.
to fall in
Mm-hmm.
love, to I mean, I'm
You
not
just never know.
you
You just
never
never know.
know. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You glowing.
You know what?
You got a glow about you. I'm not saying it's the man, but there is a glow about you.
Oh wow, yeah, I'll take that. I will
So,
take that.
yeah, so you know what I mean. Like, even though I forget about it, as soon as I drop him off at school, I remember, and I'm like, oh, well, that did go well, but I'm not sure I want to go to.
So tell me this: do you audition? Because this is the thing. I was like, I'm before I audition. I'm like, now where is this? And
Me
who's
too.
producing and who's directing? And then I go Google them, and do they look like an asshole? I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to
Yeah,
work with them.
yeah.
And then I won't even audition for something. If I think I don't want to work with the people, I won't even audition. It could be an amazing role, but I'd be like, I don't want to be in
Me
Timbuktu
too.
for 3 years. Or if I get this, then that means I got to do this and play this role and do this. And that means every time I do press, they're going to be asking me about this.
Mhm.
And I got to do that. And oh, they got an option to do that thing for 7 years. I don't want to do that.
For 7 years, I think
You know
about
what I'm
all
saying?
those
Like if they
things.
keep doing more and more and more and more seasons,
Mm-hmm.
like you want to get many seasons, right? But you want
Yes,
many seasons of a show that you love. You know what I
exactly,
mean? Like
exactly.
we were just talking about Sofia Vergara being on was it American, what is that show she was on? I forgot the name of that show. Maybe somebody will pop it in the comments, but she just did this movie where she's playing this gangster amazing role. The role is on Netflix. And I said, look, she did however many seasons of a sitcom where she's kind of playing this kind of stereotypical role, but I'm sure she was getting a big old paycheck
Mm-hmm.
and it was worth it. And now she can produce and star in these big Griselda.
Mm-hmm.
She's playing Griselda now, like
Mm-hmm.
killing it, right?
Mm-hmm. Come on,
Um,
Kaya.
huh,
Mm-hmm.
say it again.
The person who gave you the information, I was just saying yes.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so she's playing Griselda now, but for many seasons she was on. I can't. What's that show called? Modern Family. Yes, thank you,
Mm-hmm.
thank you. So she was on Modern Family for many seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, great role, easy-ish role, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Griselda is just more like a juicy role to sink her teeth into,
Right.
right?
Right.
You know, like you just take a chance when you audition for something. You take a chance that you might get the part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
And the
like,
thing. Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm.
always assume I'd be like, I might get this part. I don't need to audition for something that I might get and I ain't gonna want to do.
I agree. But I try not to limit that to location. I try to
Mm.
limit it
Okay.
to the actual role and if I want to do the work. Now, I'll do something else locally. I'll be like, "Oh, I get to go to Atlanta or I get to go to LA or, but if something is powerful and I really want to do it, I try not to say no because it's in Vancouver
A
or
location that you don't want
location.
to be.
Yeah, because I,
Now
I
that's the
feel like,
thing. That location for 3 months, a
hmm
movie in that location,
yeah,
3 month movie, 6 month movie, versus like a TV show in some location. I don't know any
hmm
particular place. Like it just depends on what it
it
is, you know.
depends on what it is and when it is. Because I always think, boy, what a great gift to give a 6-year-old to go to another country
Okay.
and
Because you're
go to.
bringing your whole family with you.
Hmm
I
hmm
think so. These are single people problems
Yeah.
because you know you may get along with people and meet someone new or and be dating someone in that
Yeah,
city,
but
or you may be particularly alone and by yourself. You just never know.
you never know. I
Um,
know.
but what's wonderful about that I will salute is that you have a supportive husband
Hmm
who supports you going to different places.
Yeah, yeah.
And that you all have been together long enough to have that consistency that to where you can be excited about going somewhere else. I
hmm
mean, I I can say, because one of the conversations that's been on all the blogs, and I listen to a lot of pop culture blogs, is about, people always say dating is trash right now. They say you don't want to be single right now. You don't want to be in these. You don't want to be in these single streets. That's the talk, right? And what I've witnessed from my own relationship, other people's relationships, people, friends, family, is that we live in an era where people have access to seeing so many different types of beauty through the internet, through, we have so much. Somebody said it is. We have access to so many different types of things, so many different opinions about men, about women, about what's considered feminine, what's considered masculine. Conversations that have been happening in a different way, that make it so that you really are, for me, makes me heavily considering the choices that I make in a way that might be unnatural. I'll say that because I think when you know for sure that you are surrounded by supportive people who believe in you and believe in what you're doing, then you just make choices. You just be like, do I want to do that? You just make choices. If there is any energy on your life or on you or people who in some type of way make you feel like, well, if you go here, you're going to lose this. If you do that, you're going to lose that. Then it makes you just more cautious about how you make your choices,
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I would say about that. But I love to see that example, that you have that support, that you can just be like, shoot, I'm taking my baby with me. Me and my baby gonna be in Vancouver for 6 months. Like, you know what I mean? I love it.
But I think also marrying an artist, it's a little different because he totally gets it. I remember one time I was auditioning for something that was going to film in New Zealand, and my husband is he's a professor at a university here,
Does he
and
have to be in school in person, or can he teach online? Or
he has to be in person.
Ooh.
And he absolutely loves it. Absolutely. She teaches Shakespeare, he teaches, acting. He absolutely loves it. And when this came up, it was a stretch anyway. I mean, in terms of it was a stretch. But
wait, he does Shakespeare, so he's an actor too. He's
yeah.
That's perfect.
Right.
Your audition tapes must be off the chain. I already know. He'd be like, no, do it like this. You'd be like, okay.
Girl.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Right. So when it came up, I said, and just like you said, we hash out all this before we even take the audition, right? We don't spend no time memorizing and working on something we don't plan to do. So we're talking about it when the audition came in, and I said, well, I don't know, New Zealand. I was like, I don't know about that. I'm not gonna be away from you all and way in New Zealand. That's not. He said, what do you mean away from us? No, you get that. We come to New Zealand. I said, well, what about your job? What about you get that? We coming to New Zealand. so it's just we understand the bigness of things, and we understand when it's not a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
he said us going to New Zealand.
us going to New Zealand. We'll deal with everything. But just even the thinking about, oh wow, Robbie could be in preschool in New Zealand. What a great, I'm all for
your
education.
baby will be having a New Zealand accent.
So I'm all for education being exploring the world, not just in a classroom.
I love that. I love that. I find that the more comfortable I am, when I'm feeling very comfortable and clear and sure, I just make clear, easy decisions. And then when I'm unsure, I'm really unsure. I don't know if it's the Libra in me or what, but I'd be weighing my options. I'd be like,
Libras are my favorite people.
Are we? Yay!
Libras and Capricorns. Oh my goodness. My mother was a Libra. She's the most amazing person. The most amazing person. what do you see yourself being on Broadway again?
Again, it's interesting. I have an idea for I have ideas for a couple of biopic that I would like
Yeah.
to do, and I was seeing them as film or like a mini series. And my brother actually had said to me today, he said, I think he said, I don't know, you may have to make that a Broadway show. And so I must say, I can't totally rule Broadway out. I really cut my teeth doing Broadway.
Hmm.
I moved a year ago, and so I'm just now in the phase where I'm putting pictures
Yeah.
up. And so I was like, I want to do I have any of that stuff over here? I have like, I don't know if I have it with me.
I can't wait to visit you there.
Yes, come visit, honey. We'll have lunch. We'll do the whole thing. I
Yeah.
have some like playbills of shows that I was in. I just grabbed this playbill. I was not in this show.
Ah,
I was not.
uh-huh.
But I have like framed playbills of the shows that I was in. And I was like, oh, I gotta put my playbills up now. Like as
Yeah.
I've been deciding, getting my furniture and deciding where I wanted things, now I'm finally ready to put my art up. And every time I see a Broadway show, I'll tell you, I catch a lot of the tours that come through town, and I
Mhm.
always know somebody on the tour. You're not showbiz people, boy. We know showbiz
Yes.
people. Is it? Am I the
No.
only one? Does it seem
No.
like every time a show comes to town, I know at least 3 people on every show that comes to town?
Yes.
I mean, like every
Yeah.
single show, from Aladdin to just any show, like
Hmm.
MJ the musical. I just saw that.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I said that to say I could definitely see myself doing Broadway again. It would have to be something that I love. It's quite a grind. You
Yeah.
know, it is
Yeah.
quite a grind. I always admire LaChance and how she'll get into a Broadway show and she gets in that thing and she's singing that,
Hmm.
oh, just singing every day, boom,
Hmm.
boom, boom. Tony Award winner LaChance,
Hmm.
who is now a Broadway producer,
Yes.
on the side.
Yeah.
She spoke recently on an interview on a major network
CBS
television.
Morning. Hmm.
Yes. And she was talking about being Black and being on the other side, being a producer,
Yeah.
and like how important that is. And so my producing spirit is coming back in me.
Hmm.
When I was younger, I used to produce music videos for myself, and
Hmm.
I was putting my little albums out, my little singles and stuff, and like always I did a couple of calendars. Like I was always trying to make something, right?
Yeah.
And I'm finding myself back, and I'm so different now, but I'm finding that part of myself again.
Yeah.
Because the thing about being when you're hired to be someone else's muse,
Hmm.
sometimes it can take up a lot of energy just being a muse. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just
Yeah.
then, oh, what dress will we put you in today, Lillian? What wig, what hair, what makeup, what lines will you say?
Yeah.
And then you spend every day being that character for that writer, for that producer, the people they're excited to have you there, to have you play that part. And then sometimes you can have your mind be taken up by all the space of being that part. And then you forget about your creative side that like, oh, wait, but I create stuff myself too. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
The creativity you don't get to do it. It's someone else's baby.
Yes.
Hmm.
So I'm rediscovering that side of myself again, but I'm also really prayerfully hoping to continue the thread of clarity
Mm.
so that my ideas can come through clearly,
Hmm.
and just praising God for ease of movement and connectivity and help so that the
Hmm.
right people come around to help me.
Hmm.
Um, it takes a lot of time and focus. Like I at one point I had a friend, I was writing a script with a friend, and we gonna meet every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. So we get on our Zoom at 10 o'clock every day. And then a Wednesday or two goes by where we don't get on the Zoom. And then it turns around and next thing you know, we stop doing it. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
consistency,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Um, and for me, learning how to multitask for
Mm.
me,
Mm.
because I find that isolation has been my best thing. I remember when I came to do the respect movie, when I came to do the respect
Yeah.
movie, I was in Atlanta for the first 2 weeks. I didn't even tell anybody I was in Atlanta, because what I wanted to do was, the New York people think I'm in New York. Atlanta people think I'm in New York. New York people think I'm in Atlanta. Nobody knows where I am. But I was in Atlanta. I was filming every day, and I would come back home to the hotel, and I would. That's when I learned how to do Shopify. I really love e-commerce. I love e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew that finding a way to build my online businesses, that's a new thing that's been in development. I
Mm-hmm.
started doing a little bit with like merch and teacups
Yes,
and
I
doing a
love your teacups.
blog and different things
Mm-hmm.
like that. But now I'm really excited about the expansion of that, like really getting into spa life
Mm-hmm.
and really uh, intentionally focusing on Black women and self-care and how to like really actively take really good care of yourself with baths and just all that sort of thing. So getting back into my e-commerce stuff, that's just been something that I'm excited about. But
Yeah.
what I found for me was that isolation helped me to just focus in and get it all done, and then it's all set up and all I have to do is go in and do a little tune up on the website every once in a while. But
Yeah.
learning how to like switch back and forth, like being on somebody's set and then working on my thing and then being with my man and then work, like the
Mm-hmm.
switching back and forth can be a lot because I
Yeah.
tend to like just go all in on one topic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that's been
Yeah.
my prayer, is
Well,
that balance.
we'll pray for that with you. I understand that. I'm a very tunnel vision kind of person too, so I get that. But you said you were different now. How are you different?
Oh, wow. I'm different in a lot of ways now. Um, in some ways that I'm proud to say I'm different, and in
Mm-hmm.
some ways that I would say I'm ashamed to say. But I'll say on the shame to say that I'm different is, when you just get older and you get sleepy sooner. So then, like, whereas I would pull an all-nighter and build a website,
I'm
I
with
would
you.
pull an all-nighter and 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm just, y'all ever seen that meme with that cat? I would just be like that cat, like, just drinking my tea. I'd be like, typey, type.
I'm so with
And
you on that.
now I'd be like, ooh, I'm gonna have to pick this up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that I'm ashamed to say, like, I don't pull those all-nighters anymore like I used to. I could like build a website in like one day. I would just focus in and just make a whole new website in one day. I'd be all on, I have windows open, copy and pasting, and cropping, and then moving graphics. I mean, like, I'd be just full out.
I'm
And now
with
I'll be like,
you,
child, I'll be like, it's 10 o'clock, child. Woo, let me.
child. I am so with you on that. I used to stay up all night, honey, making curtains and decorating and painting.
I used to be
Now, if
making
I start painting,
wigs. Oh, I'll be up all night making wigs.
girl,
Woo!
I'm scared to paint a wall because I know it's not gonna get finished for 2 months because I can only do a little.
At a time, am I gonna get back to it? Am I gonna finish it?
Yeah.
So I'm different
Oh,
that way. So that's the way I'm ashamed to say. I'm like, I've been a night owl. My friend Christine, she knows me. Christine routinely would be up at like 6 a.m. She's up doing her tea, getting up in the morning.
mm-hmm.
And she knows she could text me because I'm still up.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
started working on a website at like midnight. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. But so on the good side, I don't take too much more crap. Okay. Like my
Yes.
boundaries, I'm still working on them, but I got some real good boundaries. Like if somebody, I'll be like, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I ain't gonna do that.
I'm
That
not
ain't gonna
gonna do
work.
that.
Don't talk to me like that.
Mm-mm.
Like my boundaries, whew, my boundaries are good, And
Mm-hmm.
I can still see where they could be a little bit better. And I look back, you look back on conversations you
Yeah.
had or things like, dang, I could have done this, I could have done that.
Yeah.
My boundaries are so much better, and I'm so proud of that. So
Mm-hmm.
proud of that.
Oh, yeah. Is mine better? Yeah, they're better. No, I don't take too much. I don't. Mm-mm. Um.
They still, for me, they still could be even better,
Uh-huh.
but I'm
Mm-hmm.
proud of the steps that I've taken because just a former people pleaser, former people pleaser,
Yes, I
So,
know exactly. But I'll say no in a minute now.
mm.
Mm-mm.
Somebody said I'm a first grade teacher with 30 kids, headed to bed in a few.
Baby,
I
let me
go
tell
teach them
you,
kids.
that little boy, I have so many plans that I'm gonna do after he goes to sleep. He goes
So
to
that's
sleep.
good. That's good for me to understand for the future mom of it all
Yes.
is the okay, mama just got to do stuff when baby go down. Baby go to sleep.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
I have so many plans, but the minute he falls asleep, I'm like,
Oh, you start falling asleep. Oh.
I have great plans. My plans are amazing, but if I don't get it done while he's at school, mm-mm.
Mm,
I can't stay up because, I just usually up. And the thing is, when I get in bed early, I'm not going to sleep.
mm.
I am doing mindless
Checking emails.
things.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, I forgot to order a new case of
yeah,
water. Oh, did I call the air conditioning man? The air
exactly,
conditioning man. Whatever. Like, yeah. Life be
exactly,
lifing.
exactly. So now let me ask you. I want to know this. I'm so intrigued with you because I've known you so long, and I am so proud. And, and when I say that, I don't mean it like, oh, I do mean it like a sister, but I mean it from an artist to artist, of everything that you've accomplished, from musical theater to plays to film and television, through philanthropy, through your blogging. All of it is just so incredibly impressive. And I want to know, what is, through the journey of getting to all of this, what is one of your biggest regrets? And and I don't even have to ask now, because my question was, what is one of your biggest regrets? And what is one of the best decisions you ever made? I think we talked about your best, maybe it was moving, but you
Moving.
could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just moving. Yep.
Yes.
Making a move. Making a
Yeah.
move.
Mm-hmm.
And that when I say that being one of my best decisions, it's not about what city or it was the decision to make a move to try something different,
Yeah.
even if it didn't make sense to other people. Hey, Christine Horn, I saw you in the audience. Making a move, yeah, definitely was one of my best decisions. Regrets. Ooh, it's interesting. I so actively try to avoid regret
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that it's hard to find it. But I would say, I say this to myself and to any younger women who are watching, young people in general, but wasting time with suitors, unsuitable suitors, wasting time with people, wasting time at unsuitable jobs, wasting time living in unsuitable housing, wasting time with unsuitable hairstyles. I mean, it could be anything. Like, your hair look crazy, and every time I decided I'm gonna have blue hair, but you say you want to play a lawyer on TV, but you just committed to this blue hair, and you doing auditions with blue hair, but you swear you want to play a lawyer on TV. What lawyer do you see with blue hair? Unless you gonna make like just spending like committing to stuff that like going against the grain in ways that are not helpful to you. Sometimes it is helpful to go against the grain, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you don't need to be trying to reinvent the wheel, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So for me, I would definitely say time that I wasted dealing with people who meant me no good. And that's hard to decipher because people can be really amazing in one area and still mean you no good in another area.
Mm-hmm.
And not meaning you any good doesn't mean that they're an evil person.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to cut off a person or a thing or a job or a living space. It's hard to change it when you don't see it as inherently bad. You understand? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we have to be a lot more black and white with things, with our decision making.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I'm still working through, is learning how to be more black and white with my decision making, making decisions that I know will be ultimately the best for me, even if, oh, but this is so great and that is so great and this, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that can be the hardest. It's easy to I mean, it can be a little easier to walk away from, you know, a really bad situation. You working at a job, you get so anxious, you vomiting every day before you go to work. It's once you decide I'm quitting this job, you can quit that job. But
Yeah.
like going somewhere that you know is not paying you the right pay, but then you don't know when you're going to get your next job. Like, you know, there can be other things that are more difficult in terms of like making decisions. So I would say my biggest regrets have been staying in things too long, people, places, and things for way too long, longer than I should, wasting time.
Mm.
And I'll specifically say as a young woman, like time is a lot different for you. The world is a double-edged sword. It is not the same for men and women. People have issues when people say that, but there is polarity in the world. There is.
Mm-hmm.
And things are different. And so you have to activate and make your decision making different. So
Mm.
yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Tell us about your work in Liberia.
Liberia. Hey, shout out to my Liberian people. So yeah, my name Saycon is obviously it is an African name. It is a Liberian name. My dad was from Liberia. My mom, my beautiful American mom, who lives here in Atlanta. She's so amazing. She married this African guy back in the 70s, and they had me. And in my time growing up, you know, whether it be the food or the accents or the clothing, I just always had a passion and enjoyment for international cultures, Liberian, Nigerian, Ghanaian. You know, I just always really was so inspired and happy to be around anything diasporic, like Caribbean, like anything that just felt like it had a twist of the African diaspora.
Mm-hmm.
And so two amazing things happened to me in 2016. One is I got to play a Liberian character on Broadway. And that's when I won the Drama Desk Award, the Obie Award, and then I received a Tony nomination at that time. And a lot of different people were kind of coming out the woodworks, coming to see that show. And there was a young man named Will Smith, not the Will Smith that you know, but there was a young man named Will Smith. He was friends with another young lady that I knew. And she said, hey, my friend Will Smith, he has this school. He's working with the Liberia. He'd love for you to meet with him. And so went and had lunch with Will. And Will told me about the Monrovia Football Academy, Lead Monrovia Football Academy. And so he told me about them. At the time, they had just started the school. It's full education in addition to soccer training. And he asked me if I wanted to be on the board of directors, and I joined the board. And a lot of time has gone by, a lot of changes. The school now has its own full facilities, like it's overnight, like the kids go, they live there, they stay there. They just broke ground on a new boys dormitory.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing. There's been so many strides for these amazing young people. I believe the first senior class will be graduating this spring. And so I'm so grateful to be a part of Lead Monrovia Football Academy and be on the board of directors. I want to shed more light to that particular cause. It's so beautiful. But being on the Eclipsed play alongside these amazing actresses and just amazing team, it was written by Denai Guerrero, who is of Zimbabwean heritage. And she's like, we know her as a badass Black Panther
Yeah.
action hero,
Yeah.
but she's a playwright, you know, and I got to do her amazing words. And
Mm-hmm.
that play brought me to Monrovia Football Academy. And so it's a cause that's very dear to my heart. I'm often intimidated when I get on these board meetings and I'm like, wait, what? Like, I mean, it's everything involving children, but it ain't just one. It's like a whole school of children. So you have to really, you know what I mean? Like resources and money and time and education. These children's lives are in our hands, you know? And so I'm thankful and grateful to be a part of that and to bring more light to the school. So yeah, it's very near and dear to my heart. And actually my first time going to Liberia physically myself
Mm-hmm.
was happened as a result of me working with the school, because I was born here. Those who don't know, Liberia had a really serious civil war. My sisters came here as a result of that. a lot of family members lost, a lot of issues from that. And so to see Liberia rising again, and just prayerfully understanding that Black people in America are getting excited about the diaspora, people going and doing their holidays in Ghana, holidays in Liberia.
Yes.
Like, I mean, like, I love seeing all the celebrities that are going to Africa now and seeing how fly it is. Like, can I tell you, most of my international trips have been to Africa. I have not been to Mexico. I've never been to Mexico.
Wow.
The average American vacations in Mexico, you know, but I went to South Africa for my last vacation, you know. Like, I love anytime I can go to Africa is one of my favorite things. I'm late for a trip,
Yes,
but
yes.
yeah, that's Monrovia Football Academy.
Excellent, excellent. We have my auntie who cared for my mother till she passed, and she's still with us. She's Liberian, so
Did she make
she
some
will
good Liberian food for you?
all
Did she
the
cook or did
time,
she? Woo,
all the
that's some
time.
good
She
food, ain't
she
it?
she keeps us, yes. So my son learned. I mean, yeah, so very early to to his auntie.
Uh,
So she is definitely a part of our family.
that's sweet.
Um, how do we get your merch? How do we get, tell us where to go?
So right now, because I'm about to fuse all of my sites together,
Okay.
but you can go to sayconsymbol.com. You can go to sayconstore.com. You can go to Seycon Talks, but I am going to be fusing them all together. I've been having a couple of meetings so I can like rejudge everything. But Seycon Store, my merch is on Seycon Store. I have t-shirts. I put out a song a couple of years ago called Be Here, and I have a beautiful lyric t-shirt. You and me are like honey to a bee. You be my Ozzie Davis, I'll be your Ruby D. That's the lyric
Come
that
on
I wrote.
now.
That's on that t-shirt. We have a Be Here t-shirt. We got a Be Here cup. I should have been on brand and had my stuff on while during my interview, but yeah,
It's
visit
all right.
Saycon Store, SayconStore.com, SayconStore.com, and you can see some of my merch. Oh,
Excellent.
and
Somebody wants to know, when
also,
is the next Saycon Talk Live?
I was just about to say, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've gotten more active with YouTube again. I've been posting shorts and different things. I'm definitely going to be going live again. I've been getting my office ready, which I love so much. So yes, please subscribe on YouTube to Saycon Talks. I have Saycon Talks merch, t-shirts, cups, all that stuff. I really love to have a good old juicy tea time and talk. Some of the things that I've been wanting to talk about, but I haven't, and I'm curious to know what your opinion. I know we're rounding this up, but all those talks, those actress talks, the things that are all out in the media, and everybody's wondering what are actresses saying about pay disparages and about roles and about this and that. You know, there's so many opinions I have. My goodness, I'm so prayerful for like Wendy Williams and like, you know, Britney Spears and conservatorships. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I will definitely be doing some more Saycon Talks. You can subscribe to Saycon Talks. There's an RSS feed. It is a podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, or all the podcasts that you look for. You can find Saycon Talks. I have 2 seasons of Saycon Talks on, and I will be doing that again as well soon. So yeah, y'all please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram at Saycon Sengbloh. I appreciate you for having me, and I appreciate everybody in the chat, all the comments, all the good comments, all those beautiful yellow hearts, red hearts, friends, family, everybody that's been coming through.
Yeah.
It's been beautiful. And when I tell you, because I still get starstruck, and since I'm in my spotlight. I was in my hot tub, y'all. I was in my hot tub. I was in my hot tub. I was in my hot tub, and I was like, look at Angela on the TV. Drinking my ginger juice.
You drinking your ginger juice in your hot
Drinking
tub
my ginger juice
in your new home in Georgia,
in Georgia.
girl. Live, enjoy. I will come there and meet this man because, honey, he got to go through me. I need to see what's happening over him.
Yes.
So I'm excited though. I'm so excited for you, and whatever your next is, everything you're dreaming of, the producing, the merch, your show, everything you're dreaming of, may it come to you. And may it be everything you want it to be. May all good things be yours, my sister. And I
Amen.
know you will use it to the betterment of everyone around you because that's just your heart.
Yes, ma'am. Amen. Amen. Amen again.
Love you.
Woo.
You're
Thank you.
gorgeous.
Love you too.
Thank. I'm
Love
glad
you
I got to
too.
see these locks,
Me
honey.
too. Yeah, I'm gonna do some videos on these. I've been taking a lot of footage from when they was not locked and they was just extra fuzzy. Now you can see my roots. You can see,
They're
they have settled
gorgeous.
in. So I'm gonna do a few videos, talk to people about them. I've worn them to 2 different events now. I have a few little lock
Oh,
extensions. I said I've worn them on the red carpet now at this point. I'm
let
very
me just
proud.
say, somebody posted, and it was stunning. You singing at the Diva Simply Singing.
I sang yes. Oh, I want to see that video. Oh Lord.
It's on my
I was like, was my
post.
Spanx up? Was my Spanx pulled up? Oh
You
Lord.
look
I was singing
gorgeous.
Defying Gravity.
You were singing
Can I
Defy
tell you?
Gravity.
Amazing moment. Shout out to Cynthia Erivo because the new Wicked movie is coming out. All these years they did Wicked. They had probably 100 women play Elphaba. Maybe 5 have been
Yeah.
black. And I was the first.
And you were the
And
first.
and when they decided to do the movie, they chose a black woman. When I tell you, I was just here for it, so here for it. Cynthia announced me at that concert. She comes out. So you got Cynthia Erivo, who's about to do Elphaba in the film. You have the fabulous Cheryl Lee Ralph, who's producing this whole big thing, raising funds for AIDS awareness, for medical care, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And then they both introduced me as the first black woman to perform the role of Elphaba. It was a magical moment, like, man. And then Cynthia is backstage. Let me tell you, the backstage, she's backstage with Felicia, who is young Celie in the movie. And she just got her face in her hand, breathing life, talking to it. Like, I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, these moments, so many moments happening all around us.
Oh.
That was a beautiful moment. If I find the right video around, sometimes I don't post them because I'll be like, I ain't like how my hair look. And then I'll be like, I need to post it anyway. If my hair look crazy, whatever.
Charles
But I need to
Reese.
find that video.
Charles Reese posted it on my Facebook page.
Okay.
Where I posted that you're coming on Artist Talk. In the comments, he posted
He
that
posted
video.
it. Okay,
Check
I'm
it
gonna
out.
look for. I wonder if he was at the show. He may have been at the show.
I think he
I
was.
saw a lot of people. Honey,
Mhm.
that red carpet, it was so much
Yeah.
fun. So much fun.
Congratulations, sister. You
Thank
guys,
you.
thank you for
Congratulations,
tuning in.
Cynthia.
Look, we hadn't seen one another, so you all got to witness some good girlfriend talk right here
Mm-hmm.
because we hadn't seen one another.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna do better with that. But I'm glad you guys were here. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. I'm gonna be
Bye,
back
Sleepy
next week.
Peppy.
Hi, pretty
My
boy.
dog is like, what? She's like,
Hi.
why you wake me up?
Hi.
She's like, why you
So I'm gonna
wake
be
me up?
back next week. I don't know if it will be with a guest. It might be with just me. So
Oh,
we will see you next week. We love you very much and we love you, Seycon.
bye.
Bye,
Thank
bye,
you, Angela.
honey.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye, everybody.